It's the truth, man, the future, you know.
Dame impact in Harlem was nothing. Not to say it like that. Dame came up under hustlers that impact was it. He was a little dude when it came to hustling in Harlem. He wasn't not no Rich Porter, none of that type of. He wanted to hustle. He wanted to hustle for Rich Porter and that. Dame from the East Side. When the niggas on the East Side is different from the niggas from the West Side. Now for the East Side, Dame was a big deal to us because we were little. He was coming from the West Side, little car, jewelry, and all that. So when you're young, he's looking like Rich Porter, but in reality, he was like this. The nigga, go to the store, nigga, take a couple grams, get out of here.
The Rap Cat Podcast that Jim Jones did, and he said that you're not a boss, you're a worker. What do you have to say about that?
Someone called me about that, and I laughed because it's ridiculous, but I felt like Jim must have been giving me an alley-oop to front on him, so I will.
Okay. So, you're invited. Go ahead.
Well, here's the thing. When I was 15-year-old, in I would guess their perspective, because he was a young man, I was big time to him. Because I was 15-year-old and I was doing things that most 15-year-olds weren't doing. And the people that he's rapping about in a lot of his records, like Rich Porter and Lou Sims, these are people I actually used to hustle with. Now, at 15, I'm not going to say I was a legend at hustling. I wasn't. I was 15. But the people that we were looking up to, by the time I got to their age, I had definitely made more money than them, and I was more impactful as it relates to culture, because it wasn't being known for selling drugs. I was never known for selling drugs. But what you won't do, you could ask Lou Sims if he ever sent me to the store, or ask anybody that you know that was in that world that ever sent me to the store. See, I never hustled with Jim, and I don't think he ever bought a car till it was with Rap Money. It was never a street thing. Okay. I knew him as Jomo, and it's not a bad thing. It was his name, and he was like an 8-year-old, like a younger kid running around with a clip-on tie, and he lived in 1199 at Dave's house because I guess they're whatever it was. He lived. So I never really knew him as like growing up. He was always a little kid. Yeah. But Fredo Cameron brought him around, and I was like, "Why are you with Jomo?" And he was like, well, and he admitted this, well, he has a crib we go to, we just using him, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, all right, it's Jomo. But he's done what he's had to do. But, he wasn't there to say that. But if he can say that, like Dookie, I used to hustle with Dookie. He was my lieutenant.
Not Dookie. I thought he was calling the man Dookie.
Yeah, you were wrong. Pause. Pause. Duke the God we call him Dookie, Paul. Okay. Duke the God is with the Dipset. I used to hustle with him. Okay. You could ask him if he ever seen someone send me to the store, but I was always known in the position as somewhat of a boss, and all I did was pass the plug to them. They were like, they always looked up to me at that time, but I was never big time as a drug dealer, but I did have a crew called The Best Out, and we were the youngest crew, and we were legendary. We was all getting money.
Yeah, they do. You never did nothing, nigga. You ain't no gang. They do. That's right. You're entertainer. They the gangbangers, nigga. You soft, gang. You soft, nigga. You soft, nigga. You get the soft, nigga. You get the say 1989. You get the film. You ain't never seen nobody fuck me up. Don't fuck with nobody. No. Cigarette. Go ahead. Fuck me up. Give me the glass. Fuck me up. Move, Chrissy! Chrissy, move, Chrissy!
Hell no! Come on, y'all. Baby, please, you can't let this happen. You can't let this happen. You can't let this happen. You can't. No.
Go inside and do something.
Never sit me down enough.
Come on, guys, please. Let's just chalk this off as a fucked up day.
Ain't no fucked up day. He came down his house to try to disrespect me. And now he gotta eat that when he's not mad. You gonna remember this shit when he's not mad. I bet you do. Fuck about it. Your friends are shaming you right now. Your friends are shaming you right now.
No, they're not.
They telling you to go swing on your old shit. These niggas don't care about you at all, gang. They care about the way you act. Trust me, they don't care about you, nigga. They care about what I do, nigga. Remember that, nigga. If you're not doing that, let's not do it. If you're doing it, let's get it over. I ain't got all day.
Exactly. Look, we're not.
Let me do what I need to do.
We're not doing it.
I ain't got all day for this. If I'm gonna take a beat down, let me take it. If I'm gonna look good, well, I like it. Let's go. Let's go.
Please.
I'm
Take
ready.
your old ass aside.
I'm right here. I ain't going nowhere till y'all go. Get off my block then.
You can't do nothing.
Get off
with
my
these
block
niggas.
then. I can do for you.
You can't do nothing with these niggas.
That was Jim Jones and Dame Dash getting into it in this leaked video that Dipset member Freaky Zeke basically exposed the joint, right? Y'all know Jim Jones was on a podcast talking real greasy about Mace, Cameron, Dame Dash. He was like, Dame Dash wasn't getting it for real. He was like, Cam was scary. Cam was scared of Big L's and them folks. He was scared to come outside. Said Mace wasn't really like that in the streets. And then he tried to, throw some shots at Freaky Zeke. Y'all heard Cameron say Freaky Zeke is basically the toughest nigga in Dipset. He has been known to be the enforcer, right? You let Jim Jones tell it. Jim Jones is the capo, the big bad wolf, the toughest nigga. Everybody else was just soft, right? So this little back and forth has been going back and forth. So when Freaky Zeke got in the mix, Freaky's like, oh, you talking all that about Dame? We gonna go to the tape when you tried to pull up on Dame and Dame was ready to throw the hands. Dame was out there with the dad bod ready to throw the hands. Y'all know Jim Jones be hitting the waist thinking he big. He came out that joint with the baby ankles. Boy ankles, he got them baby ankles, man. You can scoop him real quick. So I guess Jim Jones, one of them swole niggas with the baby ankles. You gotta scoop the baby ankles. So in the video, they going back and forth. Dame got the same things people have been saying for years, how Jim Jones is a fake blood. He ain't put no work in them streets, even though he's always talking like he does. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man, because y'all remember when they was talking about the Drop Your Flag challenge, Jim Jones came out there talking about, we going to war in these streets, right? Fake tough guy, right? So Dame over there, man, look, man, you ain't no real thug, basically. You a fake blood. You ain't gang banging, nigga. You ain't doing shit. Chrissy and it. No, Jimmy. No, Dame. No, don't do this, guys. Please. No, don't do this, guys. No. So you had Jim Jones pulling up with his goons. Number one, it's Dame Dash, right? Dame looks like he's by himself. He wants to fade for whatever happened. This looked like back in the day, but this don't look like too far back in the day, right? They out there in the middle of the streets. Y'all already know that New York's the concrete jungle, right? So you get into it in the streets, you're going to be in the streets. Ain't a lot of green grass out there. Like if you down south, a lot of times when niggas is trying to wreck, they'll take it to the back, to the side where there's some green grass at. In some cities, niggas will take it to the alley. DC, Baltimore, Philly. We got it's alleys out here in the East Coast. New York has alleys, but not in the residential areas, right? Like behind the buildings, ain't no alleys, like behind the project buildings and shit like that. But they had to, confront each other in the streets. So I'm like, you and Dame was supposed to be cool. You pull up on Dame, you got your goons. Dame over here trying to see you with the hands. Now, Grown men shouldn't be acting a fool in the streets. But hey, if it's time to go, it's time to go. When niggas feel disrespected and they're trying to wreck, that's what it is, right? So Dame wants the one-on-one. Dame wants to fade. What the problem is? Where all that tough talk Jim Jones be talking about, capo, woo woo. You pull up, a nigga wants to fake, saying you ain't about shit. Your girl over here, Chrissy over here, trying to hold Dame back. No, Jimmy, no, y'all don't do this, guys. Don't do this, guys. Don't do this. Everything Dame was saying, Jim Jones was like, yeah, I know. He's like, you ain't no gang member. You ain't putting no work in the street. You's a studio gangster. You's an entertainer. You's a rapper. Nigga, what's up, man? I want the fade. We gonna do it or not, man. We gonna do it or not. And what James Jones is doing, he's trying to get niggas to jump Dame. He trying to get his goons to fight for him. I ain't respecting that. He's telling nigga, man, punish that nigga. He's basically telling them to jump him. Jim Jones went as far as to take the glasses off one of his mans, trying to get him to jump Dame. And basically his mans didn't do nothing. Y'all pulled up on Dame. Dame got his shirt off. Come on, man. Y'all know what time it is. One from a nigga pull up with his shirt off is on. Ain't gonna be all that. Ain't gonna be all that back and forth talking shit, man. Dame like, man, what's up? I thought Capo was this big bad gangster. You let him tell it, Dame and them was soft. Dame out there with the dad bod, gut hanging out and everything. That nigga Jim Jones over there, man. All right, man, get him. You gotta be a hoe ass nigga if you get into a confrontation with a nigga. Y'all going back and forth, and he like, man, then what's up? See me one-on-one, what's good? And you over there, man, trying to get somebody else to fight the nigga. Trying to get niggas to jump the nigga. Where they do that at? That ain't gangster, Jim Jones. That ain't gangster, my nigga. Went all the way to pull up on somebody and ain't do shit. You doing all that tough guy talk. We know what it is, man. Them folks out in New York know what it is, man. You got a lot of rappers that get affiliated with these gangs who really ain't no real gang members. They just want that image of the gang member. So what happens is they get with the leaders of these gang and they basically pay to be a part of a gang. You got to be a hoe ass nigga to be paying just to be a part of a gang. You ain't grow up like that. You ain't been banging since a little youngin'. You really ain't a part of this gang. You're using it for an image. Now, let's be real, right? Gangs was late to come to New York City. Bloods and Crips like that. We know where that started. LA. But we also know there has been gangs in Chicago before even LA, right? Chicago basically been gang banging the longest. They've been having GDs, vice lords, all that type of shit, right? Blackstone, they been having that. East Coast was late to the gangs. And East Coast gangs, I'll say that's in New York City, Baltimore, DC. We don't do Bloods and Crips out the DMV. Ain't no Bloods and Crips out the DMV, right? Niggas rep their hood. I believe Philly might be the same way. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, you know you're gonna have your imitators and things like that, but I'm talking about big gangs is known for in these areas like This is a gang banging area, right? New York is now like that, but New York didn't have Bloods and Crips back in the day. It started in jail with the Treyway shit. I believe maybe the 90s, 95, something like that. It started, Bloods and Crips started coming to the New York City, right? This is why you have LA niggas, a lot of LA niggas, they're high ranking in gangs in other cities because these gangs are copying they gangs. So if you a gang member in Atlanta, you a Blood in Atlanta, LA Blood has more seniority than you, right? Because that's where it actually started. Now, to be fair, each one of these cities have their own culture with their cities, and they still move different with how they operate in the gangs, right? Because being in a gang in LA where the niggas you beefing with might be the next neighborhood, you in a gang in New York City, the niggas you beefing with in the next building or might be across the street. So they gotta operate different, right? And I don't believe they're as structured out. New York City ain't no DP niggas and the person at the top telling everybody what to do at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's structured out LA. But this whole situation really exposed Jim Jones once again. Remember, he was trying to make it seem like Cam was a scary nigga that didn't want to be outside and woo woo. I pulled up the old video. It was looking like Cam was the leader. Cam had niggas out there cartwheeling. I don't know what niggas was doing. You could tell Jim Jones wasn't getting no money. Any nigga on the block, niggas on the block getting money can't cartwheel anyways, because if you cartwheel, money gonna start falling out your pocket. Drugs, money, start falling out your pocket, right? Ain't nothing, not a quarter fell out Jim Jones' pocket while he was over there cartwheeling. Them one hand drawings. Looking like a straight get with in that video. So we seen that video where Jim Jones ain't looking like this big tough guy, Jumo Capo. Everybody sweet but me. That was one. So the two videos I've seen of Jim Jones, and we ain't even gonna talk about when Jim Jones was running. That's what Dame Dash was saying. Dame Dash is like, man, I ain't never ran from nobody ducking the fade. I remember back in the day, Jim Jones was running after, I believe he was getting jumped. Maybe it was by G-Unit and them. You know what I'm saying? But Jim Jones, he was gone. All you seeing was Timberland boots. You know how scared you gotta be to run as fast as Jim Jones ran with Timberland boots on? And it wasn't tied, because you know New York niggas, they shit don't be tied. Damn. Ain't good, ain't good. Jim Jones tried to come at the wrong one. How you gonna try to call the enforcer soft? How you gonna try to... Jim Jones is so not street savvy. He's not even understanding what he's really doing to himself and his group. When you sit there and try to call your enforcer soft, you're basically calling your whole clique soft. Because if the known enforcer, who Cam already says the toughest nigga in Dipset, Freaky Zeke, if you're saying this nigga is soft, but he's known as your enforcer and the toughest nigga in your clique. If the toughest nigga in your clique is soft, your whole clique is soft, nigga. I'm not saying that's the case. I'm just saying how you would see it, right? But the nigga Jim Jones don't see it like that, man. Damn. You gonna try to get that man jumped, man? Old ass Dame Dash. Dame Dash gotta get jumped. You can tell the youngest that was with him, they respected Dame a little bit. They wasn't really, trying to, engage like that. They wasn't trying to engage like that. Chrissy ain't stopping anything. Man, Chrissy, man, get out the way. They could have easily moved Chrissy out the way and got at Dame Dash. So obviously those niggas, Jimmy was trying to get, or Jomo, that's what they call Jim Jones. Jomo was trying to get the jump Dame. Them niggas, you know, really didn't want to do too much. Jim Jones really ain't want to do too much. He just doing all that talking. You know what I'm saying? See, this is what y'all niggas be saying. They be like, oh, I don't argue with women. You argue with men. See, we ain't gonna be doing all that arguing in the streets like that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't gonna be all that. You pull up, you supposed to do something. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. You pulled up on Dame. First of all, you really a hoe ass nigga for real. You gotta pull up on a nigga you got an issue with. And you gotta pull up with a bunch of niggas to, you know, handle y'all business instead of pulling up on them man to man, one-on-one type shit. You trying to get Dame jumped. And hey, look, Dame was still talking his talk. See, I believe Dame's more street savvy than Jim Jones. That's why he was talking his talk, but he was keeping his distance, right? Because Jimmy was with his folks trying to get him jumped, but he was still talking his talk. He ain't walk away. He ain't run. You out here with your goons talking shit, trying to get the nigga jumped, and they still ain't do nothing. You literally took the man glasses off, telling him to go smack at Dame Dash. Damn. You don't have to take that L, Jomo. You don't have to take that L, man. Our boy Dame. Hey, Dame said, man, look, we gonna squabble or what, man? Now, who knows? Jimmy could have got out there with them baby ankles and caught Dame with something, dropped him. But hey, who knows, right? Maybe the cameras was watching, like, Jimmy like, man, look, if Jimmy would have got out there and got slid by Dame and that thing went viral, that would have been bad. This video was bad. It kind of proved a lot of things people been saying about Jim Jones, like he ain't no real blood. He ain't put no work in like that. He paying off the blood. You heard Dame Dash clearly saying, nigga, you ain't no gang member for real. Jimmy agreed with him, like, yeah, so what? Yeah, so what? Say, you's an entertainer for real. These are guys who are from the same area. They would know. See, where every rapper is from somewhere. Every rapper grew up somewhere. Every rapper has people who actually knows them in real life. You can portray whatever you want on your in your music video and things like that, but there's always going to be people who know you for real, and there's no hiding that. And people know Jim Jones for real, and they're like, Jim Jones wasn't like that, man, back in them days. And I believe it, because the 2 old tapes I seen, 3 tapes, Jim Jones running in Timberland boots, Jim Jones ducking fade with Dame Dash, trying to get Dame jumped, Jim Jones getting made to cartwheel with Cameron. Come on, man. Come on, man. You gonna have to take this L, Jim Jones. I'm out.